Welcome to the Kitsap Publishing Deep Dive podcast with myself, Jack Bennett, and Emily Waters. Join us as we explore books, current events, history, politics, health, and more. Let's dive in.
Nobody wants to be placed in a box. So, I apologize to the reader for presenting the investor levels in the following way. I discuss investor levels on the next few pages to provide a quick tool for finding out about your current ability to generate a wealth of generations. I designed these levels to give readers an initial idea about their financial habits and skills. I initially learned about the concept of investor levels from Robert Kiyosaki's book Cashflow Quadrant, but have created a new meaning for each level. Level 0 is the lowest level where everybody begins in life. Some start as children when they learn from their parents, while others learn in their jobs and from friends. Like any other skills and habits, the earlier in life we learn, the better we will get. I read that the Beatles were playing as young musicians in small clubs in Hamburg, Germany, 7 nights a week from 8:30 to 9:30, 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock, 11:30 to 12:30, and finished the evening playing from 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the morning for more than 2 years. That adds up to 4 hours a day, 365 days, 2 years equals 2,920 hours on stage during their time in Hamburg. Their musical performance became world famous. As Malcolm Gladwell stated in his book, Outliers in 2008, the amount of time we practice a particular skill contributes to high success levels. He suggests that practicing for a total of 10,000 hours will make us experts. Imagine that you dedicate that same amount of intense practice to your financial skills. You can discover many activities that you can practice regularly by downloading the investor level table at www.ingemaranderson.com. Please note that these investor levels have nothing to do with how much money you have. Net worth equals all assets minus liabilities, or make your income. The investor levels represent your state of mind and your habits that affect your financial decisions. Level 0. Individuals on level 0 don't have any money to invest. However, every individual has personal assets like skills and attributes that make that person valuable. Unfortunately, people on level 0 are unaware of any of their assets and seem to be stuck in their current financial realities. Individuals on level 0 pursue no activities that can be considered investing. Level 1. Level 1 individuals follow activities that we learn and practice in an average family today. These are paying bills on time, borrowing to buy a small house, purchasing consumer items, or going shopping. This level probably might be the most common in our society and is taught in primary school. Many people never move beyond this level in their lives. Even though the investor levels are not meant to be chronological, they represent the story of personal development for many people. Level 2. Level 2 activities are things that people typically learn the hard way during their first years in their jobs. They save money after their credit got ruined, build a savings account, save to buy rather than buy on credit, avoid credit card debt, and like security. Level 3. Individuals on level 3 start to learn investor skills and gain experience during their employment. For example, they begin using tax benefits when creating a 401k plan, buying company stocks or stock options offered by their employers, or participating in so-called flexible benefits programs with their employers. Most level 3 investors are young employees or self-employed people like medical doctors, lawyers, and real estate agents. Young employees working for a medium or large company often have the advantage of learning on their jobs to work in a team and learn about investing from many different angles. In contrast, self-employed people tend to become very specialized, hence miss the opportunity to become a great investor. Level 4 and 5 investors. Level 3 investors are still only buying financial products instead of creating financial products. They are still only using simple templates and readily available investment vehicles. Level 4. Level 4 investors have developed long-term investment plans. They occasionally work with level 5 investors, and they start looking behind the curtains of financial products, and they start working on taking control of their financial assets. Good examples of level 4 investors are white-collar employees in either management or other leading positions. Over the years, they have learned how to work in teams, create products, and sell them. For me, it does not matter what their professions are. They could be accountants, marketing gurus, salesmen, scientists, programmers, or designers. They must have learned how to be a good team player and lead a team. Level 5. Level 5 investors have typically passed the crowd that is working for money. They are mostly still employees, but they are not dependent on their salary. In 2003, Steve Jobs received an annual salary of $1, and many other CEOs have worked for that amount in the past. Some call these CEOs the dollar-a-year men. A typical Level 5 investor works as CEO of a company or a successful entrepreneur who either made millions by selling their company or own one or more companies. Some see Level 5 investors as the 5% of our society. Most Level 5 investors often meet with Level 6 investors. Unfortunately, the overwhelming majority of the people today will never reach Level 5 in their lifetime. It takes decades to learn Level 5 skills, gain experience, and build a foundation of knowledge and habits. Only two types of people will master Level 5. Those who were educated and trained from their childhood, and those who are self-made business people and investment gurus who have the urge, passion, professionalism, and patience to learn and apply good financial habits. But even these Level 5 people are often not capable of transferring wealth to their kids and the following generations. Level 5 investors are very successful in business and investors with little understanding of wealth for generations. Level 6. Unfortunately, Level 6 individuals are not always morally sound and mindful people in history. The Rockefeller family has been hated for many years for their ruthless and reckless behavior. Stories about John D. Rockefeller exist, which claim that he recklessly converted the entire world from a plant-based industry to a crude oil-based economy. Many people believe that he has suppressed the electric car's development, prevented diesel engines from running on vegetable oil, and prohibited running vehicles on alcohol-based fuels for years. Rockefeller also knew that a new medical frontier opened up with the use of petrochemicals. Some historical sources claim that he forced doctors and hospitals to use petrochemicals instead of plant-based ingredients as the foundation for medicine, including aspirin, penicillin, and other treatment drugs. He expanded his medical empire by changing the plant-based homeopathic medicine to petrochemical medicine domination. His goal was to justify the modernization, streamlining, and consolidation of medical teaching in medical schools and hospitals. This effort forced out most of the teaching for plant-based homeopathic medicine. His actions changed the course of medicine in the Western world. Many homeopathic schools were closed. Many hospitals had to change their direction from plant-based treatments. Some doctors were even jailed for not following the new regulation. After 1913, all medical schools and hospitals, to receive Rockefeller grants and money, were directed to teach and do research in the directed medical areas where these newly discovered drugs could be patented and sold in the many drug outlets Rockefeller empire. This included Squibb, which, at the time, was a wholly owned Rockefeller business. In general, Level 6 investors are individuals who grew up in wealth for generations. They are typically out of reach to the average citizen. They are not even known to the general public in most cases. Level 6 people are often referred to as the 1% of our society, even though the actual number of people who are part of Level 6 families might only be a fraction of 1%. People on investor Level 6 are considered the elite, and they are said to possess the following habits and skills. Number 1, they are excellent stewards of money. 2, they generate sky-high income. 3, they own many globally strategic assets. 5, their expenses are negligible compared to their income. 6, they control debt issuers. 7, they typically make other people rich. 8, they orchestrate other people. 9, they create megatrends. Then, they create financial products. 11, they always have several exit strategies. 12, they always win, they hate to lose. 13, they possess excessive cash. 14, they control their own and assets of others. 16, they work mostly behind curtains. 17, they invest in preferred stock. 18, they often make profits above 100%. People associated with the elite do not typically appear in the media, they tend to make decisions behind closed doors. They and their forefathers have mastered the task of building wealth for generations. Those tasks include much more than financial education. In America, Level 6 investors come from families like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds in Europe and Asia, and the Oppenheimers in Africa, to name a few. All these investors have in common that someone in their families founded ultra-successful businesses. In the last 100 years or so, hundreds of such companies were founded, and the Level 6 investor circle grew substantially. Today, the investor Level 6 circle, or the circle of the elite, has several layers, and each has its power and influence, but we can expect that they all work together to achieve many goals, none of them we know about in detail. We should not ignore that many of Level 6 families today might have direct or indirect access to federal agencies, determining many aspects of our personal lives. But it seems to me that most people in these circles live in increasing alarm. They seem to be blinded by their successful involvement with the largest and most powerful corporations that already created never-seen technological possibilities in life science and microchip technology. Their involvement can create a new world for them, wholly detached from the rest of the people. They might even be afraid of ordinary people, so they prefer to avoid them. Their general education, habits, experience, and power are likely superior, so one might understand that they don't tend to hang out with us. Would you hang out with a bum? You might hand him or her $1 or $2. Investor Level 6 individuals might see us, the average people, the same way we see a beggar. Since investor Level 6 people are highly connected, they can quickly form an alliance, which some people might consider as an evil alliance, or even as the mark of the beast or the number of the beast 666. The novel The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, George Orwell's 1984, or the book The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins might exemplify what can happen when ordinary people stop caring about their future, and a select group of people suppresses them. These novels describe a world where elite-like units or corrupt people control everyone's life and take advantage of them. I believe most individuals on investor Level 6 and their families are very amiable people, and some in such high powers might be in a deep crisis today. They have excluded themselves from ordinary people so that they might lose contact with the real world. Natural resource production like crude oil and water might have reached a long-term peak output, so the elite might feel their empire is in danger. A good example is how younger generations of Level 6 investors feel and think nowadays. I recommend watching the documentary The 1% and Born Rich created by Jamie Johnson and Nick Curzon. Jamie is the young heir to the Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical fortune. Jamie and Nick created these documentaries in the early 2000s, which are available on YouTube. Search for the documentary film titles and their names: Nick Curzon and Jamie Johnson. The House of the Elite. Sometimes, I see the current world as a giant house where every person in our society has their place. Individuals who live on top of the house are members of families who have built wealth over generations, and the members of these families today represent the elite. They have been financially independent for decades. The people on Level 5 are wealthy assistants of the elite. Everybody below is dependent on the upper classes, who will scream for help from the higher levels when things get complicated. Family, Rothschild family, and new money like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs family, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett. So, would you like to find out on which level you are based on this book? One easy way is to look at what you currently do for a living, what your job is. Is your job one of the ones listed in the previous figure, or do you do something similar in your job? Your profession can be an excellent indicator of your investor level. However, if you want to find out more about your current personal financial situation and your financial habits, complete the following exercise. You can download the investor level table from my website at www.ingamaranderson.com. Start with the first row and circle one habit that fits most of your personal situation. Repeat this until you get to the last row. After you made a circle in every row, add up all investor levels you fall into, take the sum, and compare your total with the score at the bottom of the table.
Thank you for listening to the Kitsap Publishing Deep Dive podcast. Emily Waters and I will see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.